What's good, everyone? All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this whole thing. Some people seem really upset about this. So, in situations like these, I feel like it is helpful to put aside our emotions, everything we think we know, our feelings, all of that, and look at the big picture. Facts considered, of course, right? And so, now, the government has spent money on so much dumb shit, way dumber than potentially making people happier. So, I digress on that part. And great failure in society and even in our own lives can certainly be a product of thinking that we already know everything, thinking that we already know all the answers. I'm sure you know somebody in your life that's like that and can never seem to get ahead because they always have the answer, right? And so I think to think that there are no improvements to be made, we already know the answer, is not safe territory to be in any realm or topic in your life or society or anything like that. Like, imagine if the people of the 16, 17, 18, 1900s had the same outlook. If everything to be known was already known and everything to be made and all the discoveries had already been made, no improvements to be made, this is the way life is. That would be crazy because I don't even know, I would be sitting here speaking to a video camera on a phone, right? So I think there's definitely merit in continuously searching, right? And with the growing rates of anxiety, suicide, and depression, even amongst the medicated populations, it kind of hints that perhaps we don't have it all figured out. Perhaps it is warranted to have a change, a shift in ideologies and methods, because clearly I don't think it's working. So, moving on, there's no doubt that these medications help people. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not seeing any push to just outright ban them and get rid of them and they're just all bad. I'm not seeing that. So there's that. That's positive, right? The focus appears to be in finding the root cause of these exploding mental oddities. And I feel like, isn't that human nature? To want to find the root cause of something? Like, is that just something we lost as a society? We just don't care to, you've heard that term, like push the envelope, maybe we just don't care to like push the envelope anymore, like that's interesting that we've lost that, but I mean, think about a child. I think it's human nature. When you think about a child, they ask why so much. Why this? Why that? Why? Because they're trying to come up with the causation of the world and why things happen. And since they are so young, I feel like the young are closer to their natural instincts than people who have been ran through the system and run down and whatever else, So I think that's really interesting. It's really interesting to consider and think about in the midst of all of that. But anywho, if I was someone who is experiencing side effects from medication for these prevalent mental oddities, and I just dealt with it just so I could function in other areas of my life, I would welcome the opportunity if it was discovered there was a root cause to my issue that could be managed outside of medication. No side effects. I would be pretty freaking stoked. And I think most people would, in their right mind, would be stoked about it, right? So, perhaps we shouldn't be so quick to be pissed off based on association, right? Don't be so quick to be pissed off to potentially deprive people of the opportunity to find what's really wrong and maybe not have to take these medications and deal with these side effects, and there's not a fits-all solution here, right? That's why they're not outright banning them. But clearly, to find the root cause, I think would be a positive thing. So I say run it, because we all know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that's not just for drug addicts. I think that goes for every single one of us, right? And that being said, I mean, if you've watched this video, you have any thoughts about this, I would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comment section. Other than that, I wish y'all a happy week. Peace out.